Same agenda as always. Talk through corporate highlights. The big session, this one is going to be employee news. We're going to do the 23 employee awards. So that's actually going to take the bulk of today. Quick updates from the commercial and government divisions, some solution practice activities. And then if we have time, we'll get to some marketing and operational news. The slides are in the deck, so if we don't get to it, please go out and review the information out there. Next slide, please. So corporate highlights. 23 was a really good year in terms of what we planned versus what we executed. Our revenue was up 23 or 32% over 22. And we had a 65% headcount increase over last year. So tremendous growth, tremendous opportunity to do some really cool work with a variety of clients, both in the federal space and in the commercial space. And we exceeded our goals, which is always good. You kind of set the bar out there, and then when you do better than you planned, that's a good year. So going into next year, and actually this year, our strategic priorities have not changed. They will not change. Our goal number one is always to take care of you, our people, and because you are the engine that makes us grow and go. And we're going to continue to enhance the ILW value proposition to our clients, and which allows us to do recognitions and other kinds of things. And then we want to continue to focus and enrich our brand, which Kathy does an awesome job. But she's got content from all of you, and there's a lot of new stuff coming in 24 with blogs and other things. So really excited about what's gonna happen. This year's focus for the last 4 or 5 years, as we've set down, although our strategic priorities don't change, we have as a management team and as an executive management team, we have a focus, and we looked at growth this year, or excuse me, last year. This year is about scale, and scale is our ability to really not just add people, but add the right people and continue to execute at a very high level, which has allowed us to have the success we've had. And that's going to, stretch us and cause us to make some changes and moves that maybe aren't very comfortable. But in order for us to continue to be the company that our customers have come to know and respect and call us on, we've got to be able to scale that across our projects. The other thing that, kind of coming up this year, we've had various interns over the last 18 years from various colleges and various focuses, but we wanted to roll out a formal internship program. It is about our ability to add talent to the team. And so having a focused internship program will allow us to be more structured in how we do that, to add kind of that next generation and folks coming out of school to the organization. So it's a great opportunity. I know some of you have come to us straight out of college, and we're going to be looking to do something a little more structured to bring some more folks to the table. Next slide, please. Our path really has remained consistent since 2006. We are a data company. We've always tried to find innovative ways to do things, work smarter. And as we've grown, that innovation has really taken root from that core data expertise. And I can say that while we're still a data company, we have a lot of very specific niche capabilities, and that's from all of you, kind of driving the problem set and the solution set, and then moving off into some other areas that are adjacent to us. One of the new stuff that the data science team has looked at, some generative AI, large language models. We spent a bunch of time over the last 12 months looking at graph stores and how we use those structures to structure and organize data and get at the analytics. Cyber analytics was something that's come up recently in some of our discussions, is how do we apply our core data expertise and the data science and artificial intelligence algorithms that we've adopted and adapted to other problem sets. How do we apply that to the cyberspace? So that's some new potential areas. And I think we submitted at least one cyber proposal here in this latest round that's really focused on using AI to get after the cyber problem set. Something new we added to this is really the core software engineering and cloud engineering capabilities. As you see kind of on the bottom, it's really foundational to how we build and field scalable applications. It's the concrete, really that foundation for being able to deliver solutions, whether that, data focused, 100% AI focused, or even that visualization space. You'll see in the coming months, we're looking at a software and cloud engineering practice area, because as we've scaled and really started to do more end-to-end capabilities, and we got a couple projects where we're fielding stuff into production, and have this year we need to kind of beef up that skill set, and as such, we're going to have more people on the team, and so we need to have that community of excellence, that community of practice, that very similar to our data engineering practice and our data science practice, that allows those folks to collaborate and really have that reach back to other people on the team. Yet another way we've tried to maintain that culture and that sense of team that we've always had, really being a geographically dispersed organization from the upper Northwest down into Florida, East Coast, full West Coast. We're all over the country. And so the mechanisms by which we do that, including the practice areas, is how we get some of that sense of team in this model. So very excited about 24. A lot of opportunity in front of us, a lot of very innovative technologies. If you haven't had a chance to look at some of the stuff that the SBIR teams are doing on the government side, I just looked at one of the projects here the last couple of days about what we're doing with additive and AI. Wow, just wow. The stuff that team's coming up with and working on is just flat out awesome. So Kathy's got some stuff, but if you're curious about some of the stuff that's going on and some of those research-based projects, get with Jeanette, get with Jan when she gets back from leave, and really talk to any of our data scientists. They're really doing some phenomenal work there. Next slide, please. Excuse me, not just our data scientists, the whole team's building those projects, because we need the visualization, we need software engineering, we need that cloud basis. New hires. So within the last, actually a couple of them this week, we've hired some new folks to the team. We have a number of other folks that are kind of in the pipeline to come in with some new projects that should be closing. So welcome officially to the rest of the organization, to David, Ellie, Luke, and then here this week, Christopher and Roger to the team. Christopher's working on one of the SBIR projects, that Linnea project, and that I talked about, as well as the Odin Milestone acquisition project. Roger's joining Gary and Jeff and some of the other folks at Kroger, working on some supply chain activities. David is working with one of our partners over at the base. Luke is at Kroger as well. And then we brought in Ellie to really kind of help beef up our recruiting capability, as we, have the need to go out and continue to look for more great folks. So welcome everybody. Next slide, please. Going to recap. You guys have seen this in these first two slides in the newsletters from December and January, but wanted to kind of to the larger group, for those that didn't have a chance to look at that, kind of recap. Jeff has continued to be a leader, help solidify that the Kroger client that he works at. Spent a lot of time really building that data engineering practice and kind of spearheading that with the rest of that team, as well as some of the team-based construct, the water cooler chat channel and other things. Jeff is a leader in this organization. He is part of the management team, and he continues to kind of wear multiple hats. And so thanks to Jeff. Emmy's just came in, I think, within the last year, and she's really done some phenomenal work for that parts printability AI project, using various neural networks and other capabilities to do a lot of that entity detection, being able to recognize geometric symbols and things like that. Team is very excited for her contributions and has been, and she continues to do a great job. So thanks, Emmy. Next slide, please. January, here a couple, 3 weeks ago, James is once again, as well as a new addition to the team, helping lead up the Odin AMDA project, and looking at large language models, as a ton of natural language processing experience, as well as he stepped out and taken on a principal investigator role, on a new proposal we should be submitting, or have submitted within the last week, to do some additional artificial intelligence work. So thanks, James, and great job. Jerry's the guy that you call when stuff's broke, so that you don't call me. But at the end of the day, Jerry, in all seriousness, Jerry is really critical to managing our infrastructure, keeping everything patched, keeping everything secure. Does a lot of work behind the scenes that not everybody gets to see. It's been a tremendous help to me personally on the infrastructure side, because before we had Jerry, it was other duties as assigned, and I was assigned it a lot. but he's really stepped in and taken ownership of that and continues to do a great job for us. Swami, newer to the organization, but he here recently did some data science advisory services and really kind of impressed the client. He's working full time for the on a government project, but he's able to split his time, and they want him back and really want to continue to have him weigh in on some of their activities going forward. So he's proven himself and being able to kind of wear a couple hats and do a great job. So thanks, Swami. Next slide, please. February. So Julie is the machine that gets our proposals organized, keeps us on task, keeps things clean and organized, and gets activities done. And we really couldn't do the level of business development proposal work without Julie's efforts. I personally need that kind of whip, I guess, so to speak. And it's like, John, your writing assignments needs to be done here and reviews here and everything else. So she's has done a great job over the last number of years. Is it three? Losing track. She also helps with our deliverable activities. She's a great asset to Jan and the government team. Really appreciate all the hard work that she puts in. Kathy, graphics extraordinaire, as well as kind of championing a lot of our customer facing and internal facing marketing activities. She's also instrumental in helping us manage and standardize activities. She's also the go-to if we need a second set of eyes on a proposal or a PowerPoint or whatever. And she can take a look at that and make sure that we get everything correct. Kathy's done a phenomenal job. 8, 9 years, Kathy? It's been a while. Really appreciate all the hard work that you do to carry the flag for us in our culture and our values and being able to represent that externally and as well as internally. Ben has joined us in the last year. He's been kind of helping kind of crack open a newer client for us, Fifth Third Bank. He continues to kill it, honestly. He's become the go-to guy on the data management side and analytics. And talking to Gary recently, there's other people that are, in other organizations that are now coming to Ben and the work that he's been doing to kind of get their data organized and making sense. So we're making really great progress with some innovative activity that he's been doing. There's some opportunity potentially to add some more folks to that project. So great job, Ben. Thanks a lot. Next slide, please. Congratulations. And I guess in a couple ways, Jim Blau and Justin Berlinski have celebrated their 5-year anniversary. I believe that equals a trip paid for by the company. If you have questions, specifics, get with Janet, because I don't remember what it is. I think it's $1,500, but really, great work for a lot of years by both these gentlemen, continuing to carry the flag and really be great teammates and carry on and represent ILW phenomenally. Very sorry to see Scott retire, but very happy for him that he's able to kind of go on to the next chapter. He's been part of the family for 9 years. And after working 37 years in IT, he's going off to visit some aliens, I think will be the first activity. He also has a comic book shop down in northern Cincinnati. So if you're into comics, Scott can probably hook you up. But he's been a great asset to this organization. He's been a great person to be around, a very positive influence. Customers love working with Scott. And we are sorry to see him go, but we do wish him the best as he kind of checks the box and moves on to the next chapter. Next slide, please. Now the part we've all been waiting for, employee awards. Next slide, please. So first award is the Innovation Award. And as you see the nominees here, this award really is for the employees that demonstrated the best example of innovation over the last year. Thinking outside the box, coming up with different ways to do things, taking risk are all part of that equation. All of these folks are well deserving of this award, but in the end, we have to pick one or two. In this case, we did pick two. And this year's Innovation Award co-winners are Brian Conley and Justin Berlinski. So a few words there. Brian thinks very different and creative about problem sets. He brings a a physics-based mind to, in some ways, a bunch of disorganized data sets and information. And he's constantly looking at ways to apply either machine learning or simple organizational practices, in some case, innovative practices that can solve a problem or something that we just can't get over. I've been working with him personally for almost a year now on the government side. One of the recent things that he's been able to incubate is the ability to generate complex data taxonomies and ontologies from data structures. I think there's a blog that's going to be coming out in short order, as well as some code as soon as we figure out that external GitHub scenario, as well as the ability. The other thing that he's been working on is really a way to generate knowledge graphs over those existing systems. There's a lot of commercial and government need for the ability to automatically tell you what's going on with data sets. A lot of times you got to have a subject matter expert. So Brian's been doing a phenomenal job on his project and coming up with some really cool ways to go tackle some problems. Justin has helped come up with a couple of our core data engineering solutions over the last couple of years, and a lot of work in 23 doing making sense out of messy data. So XML data discovery and really a metadata driven construct to show schema and provide that data content lineage to basically run code to explore, tag, and extract that data from a variety of sources. The customer he was at just kind of lumped everything into single columns, and it basically was unusable. And Justin was critical to that effort to make sense of that. He also has come up with a couple ways on the infrastructure side to allow his Cornerstone customer to do a really low effort, low maintenance Google Analytics updates. So the way you structure data and the way you have to upgrade some of these platforms, you potentially have to go back and redo a bunch of stuff. And Justin has worked pretty extensively to come up with ways that those updates are pretty seamless for that customer. He's also taken a spearhead on the Databricks sandbox and done a bunch of scripting for us to really help push our innovation lab infrastructure forward. So great work, Justin, and to Brian. Awesome job, and keep up the great work. Next slide, please. Integrity. Do you have a strong character? Do you have, a perspective that always takes that into account when you're making decisions, interacting with people? Once again, I can say with definitive knowledge, everyone in this organization displays integrity. The following folks, folks on the screen have really demonstrated above and beyond over the last year, and they really embody what it means to have a very high standard for themselves and for Illumination Works. So very much appreciative and thankful to all those that were recognized by their peers for the Integrity Award. This year's award winner is Mr. Jeff Blakely. Jeff is an amazing leader. He juggles multiple hats, and he really stands out and holds his personal integrity and the integrity of ILW as the gold standard to everything he does, whether it's a conversation, a meeting, customer interaction. He has worked tirelessly to create that culture of trust and collaboration, both internal and external to Illumination Works. We interact a lot on the data engineering side. Jeff is also on the management team as part of that. And when Jeff expresses his perspective and views, he's doing so with an eye on thoughtful and making sure that it's lining up and it's complete honesty and openness. So very much appreciate Jeff's perspectives on some of those things. His perspective is going to be the high road always, but yeah, thanks, Jeff. Appreciate all your efforts. Next slide, please. Most valuable consultant. Years ago, we had a really big lawn chair, and it was probably oversized to like 3 or 4 times. And for a couple of years at the holiday party, when we were all geographically located, a couple of you guys might remember this, the most valuable consultant had to sit in the chair during the holiday party. I don't know where that chair wound up. It's long gone, but that was kind of fun. All of you are valuable employees. Really, what most valuable consultant is who's the person that the teams go to for expertise, help, the person that will drop what they're doing, help you solve the challenge. These are the people that are spread across a number of different things because we need their expertise in a number of different places, and they really are the best at what they do. We've had, actually in the Beaver Creek office, there's a list of the most valuable consultants since we've been doing these awards, and everyone on this list, you guys were nominated by your coworkers. So congrats to all of you for being nominated. But once again, at the end, we have to pick one. And this year in 23, our most valuable consultant is Mr. Dan Harner. So Dan has been with us 10 years, 11 years, been a while. Losing track of days.
Almost 10,
Do what, Dan?
almost 10 years.
Almost 10 years. I knew it was up there. So Dan is a very skilled and versatile developer. I think we've thrown about 7 or 8 different technologies and projects and problems at him, and he has always been able to quickly adapt to those technologies. And he's been really instrumental in a lot of our SIBR-based projects where we're trying to scale up innovation and then get them to the point where they can be maintainable. Very positive influence, very focused on quality, trying to find ways and has found ways to bring implementation approaches to make those solutions easier to develop and easier to maintain. And I know that a lot of his peers, turn to him when they have a question or a problem. I do the same thing, as Dan will know. It's like, hey, you got a minute? I got a question. So I appreciate his help over the last. Actually, I think I've called you, Dan, probably 3 or 4 times here in the last couple of months on some stuff. But so in that vein, he's been a most valuable consultant to me as well. But Dan is the embodiment of team player and technical expert. We could not be moving and doing the things we're doing without his perspective. So well deserved. Congrats, Dan, for 2023 most valuable consultant. Next slide, please. So a couple awards were introduced a couple years ago, the Rising Star Award and the Brightest Light. We'll talk Rising Star Award first. We wanted a way to recognize folks that either have shown key improvements or their contributions in specific areas have excelled. Who's really making a difference and taking that next leap for themselves and for ILW. And so this year we wanted to give that award to Ryan Appelsheen. Ryan has been with us a little over a year, and he continues to shine with the project out at Hill Air Force Base in Ogden, Utah. When you have your other teammates, kind of compliment you on, the challenges you were thrown, whether it's cloud or DevOps, and you were able to figure out stuff that even the experts on the Air Force side weren't able to do correctly. And that's awesome. And so Ryan was able to fix mistakes and misconfigurations, really helping that team move forward. Basically, he was given a pile of not workable stuff and made it work. And so Ryan was complimented, and you get that feedback. And over the last year, he's been given progressively more challenging tasks, and he's really tackled those with that integrity and tenacity and all of those core values that are ILW. And he's tackled it that way. He continues to do so, and really he embodies a lot of those core skills that maybe more senior consultants, you kind of expect that behavior. When you have somebody newer to the organization and they're right away just diving in and killing it, that's really that showcases his ability and he's got a bright future, both in technology and with ILW. So congrats, Ryan, for being the rising star for 23. Brightest Light. Who best exemplifies our core values? Who is a person that always holds himself accountable, open-minded, and who focuses not just on customers, but their interactions with their customers and other people. This is once again a newer award, and just so just so everyone knows, there were no nominations for these. These are awards that are chosen by the executive management team with inputs from the rest of the management team. So this year, the Brightest Light Award goes to Swami Krishnan, excuse me. Positivity is really the word that best describes Swami. He thinks outside the box. He brings forward innovative ideas. He has a passion for innovation. It's a passion for sharing and collaborating, and it's been highly contagious in the projects he's worked, as evidenced by his recent kudos activity. The mark of that light is your ability to showcase that on a day-to-day basis, and potentially even in the challenges and conflicts, be that graceful mentor, that encouraging force to get that team through the activity. And that's been Swami since he's joined us. So really appreciate that enthusiasm, that passion for the craft, and your desire and ability to share it with others. This year's brightest light is Swami Krishnan. All right. Real quick, not to diminish these at all, but a lot of continued professional development has gone on. Jenny, Garrett, Aaron, Yodit, and David, certifications and professional development. These are all things that Illumination Works can assist you with and help, either with training or certification costs. Get with your practice lead, and we'll figure that out, because this makes you better, and ultimately this makes us better. We want people to be continuous learners, and these is just one way to allow that to happen. So well done, everybody. Next slide, please. So ILW Cares, great 23. A lot of collaboration, a lot of hands in the activity, as well as the financial side of things. The one that I was really excited about was the Feed the Creek activity. We donated over almost $3,000 worth of food, and created 60 Thanksgiving dinner boxes for folks in the Beaver Creek area, where our home office is. To contrast, I saw postings in the November timeframe that companies that were 5 or 6 times our size were rightfully so happy with creating 10 or 12 boxes and giving that. So a testament to the generosity of everybody in the company, and being able to step forward and really help those that are less fortunate than all of us. As you can see with a lot of these charitable activities, ILW Cares continues to be focused on family, and we're going to continue to carry that mantra. There's some activities around battered women's shelter, Ronald McDonald House, and there was a new one that just came up recently that was pointed out to us around victims of human trafficking. So that might be something else that we explore in 24 as a way to give back to our communities. Please, if you see need where you live, this doesn't have to be where Illumination Works is headquartered. This can be anywhere. We want to find ways that we can give back to the communities that our people live and work in. You can send that to your manager. You can send that to the practice directors. You can send it directly to me, and we'll get it to my wife Morgan and my daughter Madison, who are on the board, and we'll take those into account, because it really is about making the world around us better, and this is a mechanism to do that. So thank you all for all the hard work in 23 on this, and 24 is going to be even better. I know it. So thanks. Now I'm turning it over to Jenny.
Thanks, John. All right, so for those of you who weren't able to join us for the 2024 kickoff party, you were missed. You might have heard about it. The employee engagement team is a team here at ILW that's focused on creating opportunities for networking and engagement for employees. So things like that holiday party that we just had, but also discussion points around ways to enhance the culture at ILW, which is already fantastic, by building a community of informed, involved, and engaged employees. So we do have some additional thoughts about events that are in the works for the future. We also have a drop-in feedback session that's scheduled for next week for February. There's one session per month. If you are interested in participating in those sessions and giving your feedback on things that matter to you at ILW, we'd be happy to have you. Please reach out to myself or Audrey to have a session added to your calendar. The employee engagement team focuses around the strategic priority commitments from the ILW management team. The number one most important one is taking care of our people, and making sure that we have open and transparent communications and emphasizing the ILW community. So if you're interested in participating, please reach out. And I will pass to, I think it's Jim for commercial news.
Thank you, Jenny. By the way, that party was fantastic and they had a great time. So I'm filling in for our illustrious leader, Gary, who's under the weather. But we got some real positive news in the commercial space. Really, as 2024 has started out, we've really seen some real momentum and a lot of the efforts that our entire team, all the consultants in the commercial accounts, have really helped us starting to get the ball rolling this year. A couple of highlights, and there's a lot of other things going on, but at Kroger, order ahead. So that's when you go into a Kroger store, to a deli or something, the ability to order ahead. We continue to have conversations with that. Rob Mason is leading our effort there and doing an incredible job, and we expect some more opportunity as a result of that. Kroger Logistics, we have started a team of 4 consultants that are working with the team at Kroger in logistics space, really focused on their merger with Albertsons later this year. Gary and Luke have been there for a while, and since then, Grace and Roger will be starting in the very near future. At Mass Mutual Ascend, this is a local company that was a spinoff of Great American. We had the opportunity last month to come in and talk about the effort we did with the rules engine at Cincinnati Insurance. Did some use case planning with them. They've got some internal follow-up, and we expect to have further conversations with them in the upcoming months, and we expect to have some real opportunity as a result. At Fifth Third, and earlier was mentioned all the great work that Ben Patrick's doing there, and also Diana Tellis. But we continue to have conversations with their managers. Everything's kind of stalled short term because they're switching vendor management organizations, but we expect things to really pick up in late March and April. And finally, at Cornerstone Brands, that's an account that we've been working with now for about 3 or 4 years. Just Berlinski is really their key data engineering resource, and the efforts that Swami did in the data science space. We're going to continue to have a presence there, and we're looking in really probably later second half to continue some work in the data science space. So across the board, some real great and exciting news in the commercial space. With that, I'll turn it over to Scott to talk about the government activity.
Thanks, Jim. I'm going to just take a few minutes here to give you a quick highlight reel of some of the things that are going on in the government division. And I would be remiss if I didn't do some quick highlights for 2023. It was an incredible year, as John kind of said at the top of the hour. We exceeded our revenue and profit goals by 60%, or 60% growth, I should say. So amazing growth year over year. We grew the team by 21 new people, net people. We achieved 5 new wins and 5 renewals, and we got our first phase 3 SBIRs. So really excited about that, plus a phase 1 and 3 phase 2s. So just a terrific year. Hats off to everyone. You deserve all the credit. Everyone who contributed to all the hard work and incredible effort and amazing, brilliant insights to create incredible solutions that have launched us and cemented our relationships and our government clients have been greatly appreciated, and you contributed to this. 2024 started off with a bang, hitting the ground running, just as Jim said about commercial. We're going to continue to take care of our outstanding people. We've got more opportunities coming up that we've planned for additional training, growth, and innovation opportunities. And we also look to further expand to markets across the DoD. Key wins for us this year are targeted for deals in Space Force, which we just submitted our first SBIR on last week, and we're excited about that. And Intel as well, and we continue to push forward and expand our presence in Army, Navy, and of course Air Force as well. So we've also planned to attend additional industry and technical conferences and hope to join more of you in that effort, so that you can get more exposure to the rest of your colleagues out in the industry, and exchange information and learn more and bring that back to our clients and our engagements. So we're doing all that. We're looking to win another new phase 3 this year, plus 3+ task orders on data analytics as a service. So we just got word also late last week that we won the phase 2 for Theia. So congratulations to that team for all the incredible work you guys did during phase 1. It clearly was a springboard to get us to a phase 2, and we're really excited about that too. So a couple of key campaigns. We're emphasizing some new campaigns this year. Keystone was on the list for campaign selling for last year, but we're also adding OpenText Insights, data analytics as a service, Theia knowledge insights, and AI and ML for cyber, which we just submitted our first SBIR on for Space Force last week as well. And then also ReadyX. So we're pushing forward in a lot of new areas and hoping to bring some of the great solutions that you all have developed to and expand and bless our other defense clients with some of that great work that you've done as well. So thanks, everyone. That's it for me, and I'll hand over to Jeanette.
Thank you, Scott. ILW was so fortunate to have this tremendous consultant team that forms the core of our company and really is ILW's greatest asset. You all bring such diverse skills to the table, a passion for your craft, and an eagerness to share your knowledge with those around you. We have a number of existing mechanisms to collaborate with fellow technologists outside of your project teams, things like writing proposals together, doing joint lunch and learns, participating in practice activities and innovation lab projects, actively contributing to ILW's cross-cutting teams channels. In an effort to foster more collaboration across the company, we are rolling out 3 additional initiatives today. All of these efforts have the added benefit of promoting scalability of ILW's capabilities and project execution through established mechanisms of knowledge sharing and standardized documented approaches to technical delivery. Collectively, this will promote high quality and consistency across our projects. So first, we have compiled a single location on SharePoint for access to all best practice documents and standards that have been developed to date. Many thanks to Kathy Claude for organizing this area of SharePoint. The drill down path is shown here, and we'll also follow up with an email with it later today or tomorrow. In this directory, you'll find a README file that details the standards available, including a brief description and the point of contact for each. And then I wanted to highlight 2 new cross-cutting best practice guides that are available. So we have the wireframe design guides. These were developed at the end of last year by Kristen Workman and Brandon Hurt, and they detail considerations and guidance when building wireframes for custom software applications and COTS BI tools. We also have our ILW style guide in this directory. This was put together by Kathy Claude and includes our briefing template, color palette, logos, and write-out style guide. So we really hope that this one-stop shop for all ILW standards will ease access to the documents and assist in project execution. Today, we're also really excited to be rolling out ILW's technical review or mentor program, as well as standards for technical delivery, which is linked here. And again, we'll follow up with an email with it today. It is just a short 2-page document that provides guidelines for the technical and coding standards and review practices to adhere to for different types of ILW projects. So that's government, commercial, and innovation lab projects. As part of the effort, we are promoting enhanced collaboration across the organization through this technical reviewer and mentor program. Through the program, ILW consultants can gain great feedback from peers on your technical work for projects. These reviewers and mentors can serve a myriad of ways, so they can review code, review UI design, database design, software design, data science experimentation. They can serve as sounding boards for brainstorming technical ideas. So I wanted to thank many of you who completed the survey that we sent out last week, and you self-identified that you would be willing to serve in this capacity. If you were unable to complete that survey and are interested in serving, we are going to keep it open for a little bit longer and send it out in the email today or tomorrow. So it'll be available for you to self-identify then. And then finally, a few weeks back, ILW introduced our employee training log to facilitate this peer-to-peer sharing and collaboration regarding professional training. By logging your training experience in this one location, that really will help your colleagues make better informed decisions regarding training opportunities to support their career growth. So if you've completed any training in the last year or so, really please consider getting into the training log and sharing your experiences to help others on the team. So with that, we can move on to the next slide. And I just wanted to give a quick recap of the data science happening. So the practice had a great 2023, and we are so excited for what's to come in 2024. In 2023, the data science team doubled in size due to the growth in data science projects. So we had a fantastic year. In December, the team reflected on the goals that we had set out at the beginning of 2023 and are really pleased to share that we achieved or exceeded nearly every goal we put out there for ourselves. In December, we also solidified our 2024 goals. If you're interested, there's links here so you can see the 2023 highlights and where we're going in 2024. A new initiative that the practice is spearheading is our journal club. So the Data Science Journal Club is meeting every other month. It is a forum to dive into recent data science publications and learn from one another's. We had our first Data Science Journal Club in January, and it was a great success. We had active engagement and discussion by all attendees. So if you're interested in participating, our next journal club will be in March. Just reach out. I'm happy to add you to the invite. And then I also wanted to highlight a few recent achievements by the practice. So we've continued with excellent project delivery. January proved to be a very busy month with business development. The data scientists led the technical writing response for 5 government division proposals. So that was 4 SBIRs and 1 non-SBIR effort. So many thanks to all the authors and reviewers for your contributions there. We also rolled out 2 new best practice documents. So the first provides a comprehensive tour of data science modeling, of time series modeling. And many thanks to Swami for authoring this very thorough best practice document. The second provides instructions for how to leverage CUDA-enabled GPUs on your ILW computer or in Azure government cloud environment that ILW has. So thanks to David Rest for developing that guide. They are linked here, and they're also available in that standards directory I mentioned on the previous slide. So if you're interested in learning any more about the data science practice or want to participate, again, just reach out to me and I'll pass it over to Jeff.
Thank you. Just a quick data engineering practice update. 2023 was a pretty decent year for us. Most of 2023 was spent, the focus of 2023 was spent on building a community since the data engineering group was just introduced at late 2022. So the first half of the year, we spent a good chunk of our time getting to know each other, all the data engineering consultants. And we did have one consultant introduction at a time. But as the year progressed, I noticed there was a change in the group dynamic. We actually began sharing and reaching out to one another, asking questions, looking for help, guidance in the different places. So I can easily say in 2024, we're no longer building a practice. We are an established community of data engineers now. Where are we? We have 24. Currently, we have 24 data engineers, and we're split across 2 divisions, obviously, government and commercial. We have 14 in government and 10 in commercial now. We've added, since the last practice meeting, or the last quarterly meeting, we've added David, Luke, and Roger. Roger just this week. And one of our highlights is we've established a data engineering GitHub repo, and I'll provide that link in the data engineering practice team page. And from here, I'll pass it on to Justin.
Hey, so yeah, through divine providence via the Lady of the Lake, that being John in this case, I was given permission to set up a Databricks playground for our consultants. In there, we have several languages available to us, as well as a series of quick start tutorials that I've created to help people new to Databricks get on their feet, maybe even teach some of the vets a thing or two in the tips and tricks section. There's still a few tutorials that need to be created, but there are a solid 11 or 12 that are out there with documentation and external references that should get you most of the way to being able to use it on a project. This is a commercial instance, so no government data can be put in there. Keep it all, just mock data, generic stuff. If you have any questions or issues getting access, you can reach out to me. In April, we're going to have a lunch and learn where Kevin Parks has volunteered to walk through the tutorials with me. So if anybody is a little hesitant to get in there on your own, we're going to walk through it so we can field any questions or any concerns that may arise during that time. Yes, you're handing out Excaliburs. To access the instance of Databricks, there's the link right there. That'll take you directly there. Or you can go to azure.net and sign in using your Office 365 credentials. Everybody should be in the group that is a data engineer or data scientist, should be in the access group. And if you're in the access group, then you should be able to see the Databricks instance. But if you can't for whatever reason, again, just reach out to me and I'll get that resolved for you, which really just means I'll reach out to Jerry and he'll do it. So once you're in there, to run anything, you need to spin up a personal cluster using the drop-down section in the compute. And I've got policies set up for the data engineers and the data scientists. There's also the SQL warehouse that's available, but rather than going into detail here, there is one of the tutorials walks through that. So that's all I've got for that. So on to Kathy.
Thank you, Justin. So from a marketing perspective, wanted to share that we have some new content out there for you guys out there on SharePoint. We have updated our social media policy and it now also includes some guidelines. So if that's of interest to you, go out there and check that out. It is in the employee library in the folder titled HR Policies and Procedures. We've also made some updates to the blog process. John referenced it earlier. So we've had some people come forward saying, I would like to write a technical blog that gets published to the website. So this makes me very happy. We love this. So went back and kind of evaluated the process from the perspective of where we are today. And where we are today is that we are much more externally visible than we have ever been. We have 22,000 LinkedIn followers. So when we write a blog, we post it on our website. And on our website, it has longevity and it stays there until it either needs to be updated because the technical stuff has changed or it's outdated and it'll be pulled off. So people can always go back. So this is something that is out there representing us long-term. And then we advertise that we just put on our website and that goes to 22,000, LinkedIn users. So try to look at the process from the perspective of, we really, two goals. We want to really encourage and enable the author to have creativity and ownership of the blog, like the perspective and their approach and the topic and the creativity, but also within some with some checkpoints in there because of the level of visibility. So I think we've come to a really good process that we're going to give it a try. Everything's always, a work in process. If there's ways to improve, we will. So if you're interested in writing a blog, anybody is welcome to write a blog. You just need your topic. And the first step is we want you to do some pre-planning. And that's going to be through what we called a blog planning worksheet. Okay, so it helps you think through the content from different perspectives. Then we'll do a little touch point with a technical person and with me. Then we'll set you on your way for writing. We'll do a review process. We'll get that thing published, we'll get you your recognition, and we'll celebrate. So the details are out on SharePoint. Reach out to me if you have any questions, and I will pass this now to Janet.
All right. I get the operation side of everything. So some basic operation reminders is, again, we have our employee referral program going on. Keep the referrals coming. In 2022, we had 18 referrals and 3 of them were hired. And in 2023, we had 20 referrals and 3 of those were hired. So it is pretty good ratio for who we've hired from who's been referred. So keep those coming. If you have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, you send the resume, a little sentence or 2 about how you know them, why you're recommending them. Send it to your manager and to recruiting, and we'll set up an interview. So that's a good process to do. The wellness program. So that's the monthly wellness letter that comes out about the 1st of every month. Jeff Blakely was our 4th quarter winner from our wellness raffle. He received a $125 gift card. The wellness blast comes out. There's activities in there that you can participate in. You get entered in for the quarterly raffle drawing. Lauren will send out a survey that you can check off what activities you completed for that month, and then we keep track of those for the entries and put them in. And this year we've added an annual wellness check. So if you're going for your doctor for your annual wellness check, there's a form for the doctor to sign. No critical information is on it. It just signs it that you came in for your annual physical. And you return a copy of that to myself. And you get put in for a separate drawing at the end of the year for everybody that went for their annual physical this year. So that's that. We also have our annual, or I don't know, always ongoing time card reminder. Don't forget to complete your time card every day and submit it on Fridays. If you forget, you have until 10 o'clock the next morning to get it done. That is critical to get your timesheets completed. And then IT. Right now, everybody who sent out an email for the security clearance training requirement, that is due February 12th. So if you haven't seen that yet and have not completed it, please go back and look for an email from Hugh Bolton. It has 3 parts to it you need to complete. You need to then send the copies of the certificates back to Hugh Bolton so he can track that everybody has completed this training. It's DoD cleared employees working for ILW are also required to review and acknowledge the attached security briefings. There's the 2024 ILW security briefing, a 2024 insider threat and CUI training. So you need to complete all 3 parts and send in copies of the certificates. And then lastly, in 2024 is our IT from Jerry, his annual security awareness training. That will be coming out about March 11th. And that will be through the KnowBe4. So that email will be like the no reply from KnowBe4. And if we'll send out an email ahead of time to let you know to look for it, and that'll take place on March 11th. I think that's all I have from operations side. Congratulations to all the winners. Congratulations to all the training. Great job. And we're turning it back over to John for final remarks.
Yeah, thanks, Janet. I really appreciate everybody coming together as a team. Team is very important to us. As you can see from a lot of the activities that and conversations and even this meeting, most of these things have been about that team construct. I believed for as long as I can remember, you put the right 5 smart people in a room, there's pretty much nothing you can't solve. And I feel really fortunate to be, surrounded by almost over 80 people that are the right smart people in the room to solve the problem. So thank you all for the effort every day. You make us go. And if you got feedback, comments, thoughts, lots of opportunity for you to be heard there, from an employee engagement to management to practice meetings to, if you guys something you want to bring up with me, phone's always on. I do answer emails. But thank you all for that. Again, congratulations to all of our 2023 winners. Great effort. To all of you who are nominated, and honestly to all of you. Like I said, this organization would not go if it wasn't for you. So appreciate that. That's all I got. And we ended on time. Wow. 1 o'clock. Winning.
Yay. Ding, ding, ding.
All right.
Perfect
Have a
time.
good one, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for joining. Take care. Have a great day.
Thanks.